I used to sit down and study for 3 hours and probably only retain 20% of it. Like I would literally reread the same page in my chemistry textbook, highlight the whole thing, and then I would close the book and not remember any of it. That was what I was doing 6 months ago. And I'm a pre-med, so not the best way to study. But then I actually started to use AI. I built a whole system around it. Building this system helped level up my grades and helped me retain so much more information. But the best part was I didn't even have to add any more time to study. So if you're a student that literally studies for hours and just feels like nothing is sticking, this video is literally made for you. Okay, before we get into it, my name is Diego. I'm 20 years old. I'm a pre-med student. And the first thing I want to let you know is that I am no genius. That's kind of like the whole point of this channel, to kind of show students that they don't have to be geniuses to get good grades. Like I don't have some crazy ability to remember things like I'm Mike Ross, where I just have to look at one thing and I will never forget it. Like I actually have to work to understand a topic, and sometimes even after working, it still doesn't stick. What I am is someone who really loves using AI tools to help make studying actually work for a regular person. That's literally the whole point of the game. And AI, when used right, is the best tool I've ever used. So I'm going to break down a system that I use. It's 3 parts, and this is how I completely changed my studying. But first, let me show you what I was doing before. Because if you're doing this, you're losing hours of your life for no reason. I was doing what I call passive studying. Rereading notes, watching lectures at 1.5 speed, thinking I was being productive, highlighting everything, underlining everything. And here's the thing, all of that feels like studying. It feels productive. But research shows this is one of the worst ways to study. The reason? You're not being forced to retrieve any of that information. You're just exposing yourself to it over and over again, hoping that something would stick. AI fixed that for me. Here's how. Part 1 of my system is what I like to call explain it till you get it step. And the concept here is simple. Instead of rereading your textbook when you don't understand something, which, let's all be for real, that almost never helps, I just go to ChatGPT and say, explain this topic to me like I've never heard it before. Use a real world analogy and provide me 3 examples of this topic. That's it. And I usually just have a conversation with it. I usually ask it follow-up questions where, let's say I don't get this step in the problem. I say, wait, explain that step over to me. I basically treat it like a tutor, to where I can basically ask anything without feeling dumb. The key is right here, I'm not using it just to get the answer and move on to the next question. I'm actually using it to understand the concept. That's the big difference. Because if I just copy the explanation into my notebook without engaging with it, you haven't learned anything. I've just copied and pasted. That's doing nothing. So step 1, use AI to build understanding first. Don't move on until you can explain the concept back in your own words. I have a prompt I specifically use for this, and it's one of the 5 I'm giving away at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around for that. Part 2 is where learning actually happens. Most people just skip this step, active recall. Instead of reading information, you force your brain to retrieve it. That's what makes memory stick. Here's how I do it with AI. After understanding a topic after step 1, I go back to ChatGPT and say, quiz me on this topic conversationally. Ask me 1 question at a time and don't give me the answer until I respond. Keep going until I get 5 in a row right. And then it just does that. It asks me questions, I answer them, and it stops when I get 5 in a row. It's basically a private tutor running flashcards with me until 11 p.m. because I can't afford the actual tutor. I will say, I'm making a whole different video on how I use AI to build the best Anki decks ever. That one's coming soon. But for this video, this ChatGPT quiz method is something that I use when I don't really have time for a full Anki deck. Part 3 is the system that ties it all together. I call it the 50-minute rule. The basic idea behind this is I never say I'm going to sit down and study for 2 hours. That's way too vague. Instead, I break up everything into 50-minute focused blocks. And each block has 1 job. Block 1 is use AI to understand a concept I do not know. Block 2 is using AI to quiz me on this topic until I get 5 in a row right. And block 3 is a break, an actual break. Phone down, walk around, and kind of repeat this process until you are satisfied with your studying. And using AI in blocks 1 and 2 means that I'm not wasting time Googling, rereading a textbook, or waiting till office hours to ask a question. The whole thing runs tighter, and I actually leave the study session feeling that I learned something. Okay, quick pause because I want to give you something. It's literally the 5 ChatGPT prompts I use the most, including the ones I mentioned in this video. It's free. The link is in the description. The only thing I ask is for you to drop your email so that I can send it to you. So go grab it. It takes 30 seconds. And these things you can actually use to help you study tonight. Okay, back to it. So does this system actually work? Like using this system, does that actually help improve your grades? For me, yeah, it did. I do want to be honest with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that I went from failing to straight A's overnight, because that is not what happened. What happened was I stopped feeling so behind. Like the material actually started to make sense instead of just feeling like I had to memorize this list of words that I didn't truly understand. My exam scores went up, not because I was studying more hours, but the hours that I studied were actually effective. The bigger thing though was I was feeling so much less stress going into an exam because I could actually tell when I knew something versus just hoping that I knew it. And that's a huge difference. The AI quiz method specifically really helped me out a lot because you can fool yourself into believing you actually know something when you're just rereading the same page, but you can't fool yourself when you're actually getting quizzed on it and getting it wrong. So that's the system. 3 parts. Understand it with AI, quiz yourself with AI, and using those 50-minute focus blocks. Now, I only cover the ChatGPT side of my system today because if I try to cover everything that I use in one video, it would be 45 minutes long and you guys would most definitely leave. What I didn't get into is how I use AI to build the best Anki decks. Like I can build a whole Anki deck within 10 minutes using the prompt that I use. And the decks come out really good. Much better than the ones I actually used to make by hand. With all of us being students, please drop down what subject you're struggling in right now. I would like to actually help you guys. So please let me know down in the comment section. Tell me what's killing you right now. I'm going to be posting consistently how I get through college using AI tools. Telling you workflows, what works, what doesn't work, all of it. And seriously, go grab the free PDF. The link is in the description. 5 prompts are there. It's completely free and they're ready to use tonight. All right, that's it for this one. If you got something out of this, you know what to do.